Hello and welcome to another episode of Dinks with Kinks. We're back with another week, another fetish, another kink, being sexy and fun. Remember to follow us on social media at Dinks with Kinks on Twitter and Instagram. We post, sometimes we post good content there. I am one of your intrepid hosts, John Undero, and with me, as always, is the very, very corseted Miss Rebecca.
Hello.
Corseted. That sounds kind of cool.
Not currently, but I did get them in today. Very excited.
Nope. And the man who has all the right oils, Mr. Shep.
Good evening.
I'm sorry, you were talking about oils earlier, and I'm just like, okay, that dude has oils.
What was
We
up
do
with
have
the
oils.
new intro? That was all like new and snazzy. Like
I like it, right?
I do. I like it. I like the new snazzy intro.
Trying to step it up. We've been doing this for a while, getting the episodes in. You know, I believe that over time, the oral dictation of this podcast should ever grow.
Why?
We are, in
Why?
fact, cunning linguists.
I need to take another sip.
Why
now.
do we let him speak? Why do we let him talk?
We
We
gave
should
you
have
the
known
chance to
this
be
was
the
coming.
host.
The question is,
Why did you
do
save
you-
us?
every week do you set me up so perfectly for it?
I don't know. Maybe that's my job. Set
You're
you
in
up.
fact an enabler. You have
I am
perfectly
an
set me up, and then you're like, "Why did he do this?" And I'm like, "Well, because you perfectly set me up for it. It's like you planned it."
Because I'm a brat. I gotta pretend like I don't like it. You know, I
Yeah,
gotta
that's
pretend. I
true.
gotta.
I sent you a TikTok today about brats.
I did. I saw that. It was awesome.
All right.
And now my TikTok is like full of like brats. And
Same. Kink talk
Thank
is
you.
a thing.
Thank you, TikTok algorithm.
What are we talking about this week?
I don't know. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's very well, I don't want to be anal retentive, but I do have an oral fixation with this situation, so let's talk about oral sex.
Okay. we talking about
Shep,
Is
oral?
it just oral sex or is it just oral?
Oral.
Oral,
But
making
it's
mouth
oral.
with your mouth.
Anything in mouth, yeah.
Yes.
But Shep, you see me, I tossed the ball to Rebecca, and in place of taking it and saving everyone from the pun, she tosses it right back.
I mean,
And
it
at that point in time-
sounds like a volleyball. She like launched that thing.
Yeah, she spiked it.
It spiked it.
I was like, well, at this point in time, I've got to make another pun. She keeps
Well, of
asking for
course.
it.
Again, I enable you. What can I do? I bring joy to the world. What can I
She's
say?
too distracted by her new corsets to think about what she's done to us.
Audience,
They're still in
blame
the
it on
bag.
the corsets.
I haven't even like really. They're pretty.
We gotta think of ways to bring her back to her oral fixation.
Okay.
Hello, Rebecca.
Hello.
All right, Rebecca, what is
Yes.
this fetish? Like, what is this kink? Explain it to me like I were a 5-year-old. But don't tell a 5-year-old because this is a mature audience.
Okay,
only
you just
podcast.
went. Yeah, you went really creepy by trying to explain it to a 5-year-old. That's really.
Okay, explain it to a 19-year-old virgin me.
Okay. Oral fixation is when you get turned on by anything with the mouth, and it can be anything from kissing, tongues, lips, sucking, putting things in your mouth, around your mouth, and it is a very sensual and it turns you on, it gets you off. Like things, people who have oral, I have an oral kink / fetish. Just love everything, all things mouth, all things oral, teeth, biting, like the whole oral, whole mouth,
All the mouth.
all the mouth.
Well, that's a lot to
So,
sink your teeth in.
Yes.
2.
Yeah.
I never really thought about this being a kink or a fetish.
It very much is. I have gotten myself off by giving oral. By not even touching myself. That's
Oh,
like
wow.
having things in my mouth and being so turned on by
You're right,
giving
sure.
a blowjob that I have gotten off by that and not touching myself. Like it's having. I love having things in my. I love having things in my mouth. Oh my god, this is gonna be me talking about my. Okay.
Yeah, I 100% want to make sure we get a clean
Did
soundbite.
it all start with the push pop or
Yeah.
one of the?
I was a thumb sucker. I don't know. I was a thumb sucker.
I mean, we all were at some point, but
I love kissing. Kissing is like it is just it's a very and usually people think about like, oh, it's kissing, but kissing out for me is something very like deep, and I love having things in my mouth. There's no
Or on your mouth.
there's no or on my
touching your
mouth. There's
lips.
just
Yeah.
I'm glad we're getting
no.
so much for the soundboard. It's going to be great. Shep, did you know this was a kink?
Me,
Yeah, well, yeah, you.
I go through the assumptions of life that everything is.
Okay, but, well, yeah, that's a smart way to be because
If you
Rule
can fixate,
34.
if you get turned on by a specific action, it can be a kink.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the lips are already a one of the main centers of nerve clusters of the body, of course, they're going to be people that have even more heightened nerve senses in the lips, which then in turn can turn into that fixation and extreme turn-ons through those actions.
Absolutely.
So yes, indeed.
I just love that this is the second episode in a row that I don't have to know diddly squat and I can just ask questions, and I'm excited about that. I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for this. All right. So what kind of like led you to believe or led you to discover this kink? Was it something you just always knew? Or yeah, like Shep said, did it start with push pops and go all the way to
Or did you just
home
work
run?
that ring pop until it was a little tiny nub, and then it was like, yeah.
I think it's one of those I didn't know that it was a kink per se or a fetish until I got older and really thought about it, but it's always been something. I've always explored different ways of kissing and sucking on the lips, and I love sucking on things, and it's always been that way, like always. So it's never been just woke up one day and it's like, oh, this is my fetish. It's just always been something that's been there, and then realized that it was a fetish. Like
Okay.
it was.
I can really enjoy those ice cubes, you know.
I do. I love.
See, I can see it.
Now I have a very important question,
Okay.
and you may be the only person who can answer this.
I wouldn't say. It's
How many
important,
licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
but- See, I already knew it.
Yeah, it was coming. How many licks
How
does it take to
many?
get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
As many as it takes.
I don't think you don't remember that commercial, do you?
I do.
Oh,
Everybody
okay.
does. Come on.
All right. all
One,
right.
2, 3, crunch, and I don't
You're
crunch.
not going to always play your game.
Well, she didn't enable me, so I thought maybe she was lost and confused. It just wasn't a good joke. Sorry, audience. So, I
Besides,
mean,
she's the type that doesn't lick all the way to the center. She bites.
little
halfway
nibbles.
through.
Oh yeah. All right, I like that.
Everybody.
All right. So, no, I okay. So probably one of the questions is like, what makes? Because I enjoy kissing and I enjoy orally fixating myself because I do have an oral fixation. I chew on stuff. I for the longest time chain smoked. Love just I have a bowl of lollipops at my desk, caught in my mouth, but I enjoy kissing and going down on somebody. But what makes it different for you, as it were? Does that make sense? Like,
It's having that in your it's something just very it's not just having something in your mouth. It is how it makes you feel. Like it's when I suck on somebody's fingers, or I'm going down on somebody, or I'm like biting their lip. It's again, it's one of those, like I was talking with, like the uniform fetish. It is something very visceral. It is very much like, God, that's hot. Like you can't, it's almost this insatiable, like you want more.
Okay.
So it's like pantyhose. I wear pantyhose all the time, or I can wear pantyhose, but it doesn't turn me on like it would you.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
like
and
it's the same type of thing.
I think
Though, yeah.
oh, yeah, and that's kind of what answered my question, because I was wondering like if it's more a like the nerves itself feel really good, or the like is it does the arousal take place in your mouth, or does the arousal take place in your brain? Like
My brain, definitely my
okay,
brain.
yeah, and
Because
I mean,
I don't like I use straws all the time. It's not like
Yeah.
every time I use a straw. It's
no, but I just like when it comes with like this, fixation. Like a lot of people always wonder, is this a like the nerve endings in your mouth are just hypersensitivity, or is your brain like does it trigger something like it would trigger somebody with another fetish? Because that's one thing I've always worried. Not worried. I have to say, this is what I've always worried about. It's what I've always wondered about when it came to like nerves and like a fixation or a fetishism or a kink. Was it the mentality of it, or the actual like tactile, feeling?
I think it's both. It can be a little bit of both, because
Okay.
it is the different textures. Like it's different when I'm going down on someone than it is when I'm kissing them, or sucking on their tongue, or biting on their lip, or whatever. It's different textures, and even that's sexy, but it's also about context.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
Now, since we mentioned the straws, though, I have to make sure we cover all the bases on our shows. How about the silly straws? Because they take a lot more sucking and effort to get the juices going. Nothing there either.
I'm actually not a big fan of silly straws. They're messy.
What? Well, I mean, they're hard to clean, but how are they messy? What are you doing wrong with the silly straw?
Yeah, I mean,
When
how
you
are
tie
they
it,
messy?
when you bend them a certain way, then you suck
Are you
on
supposed to
them,
be
and then it
very
drips.
bent? Why are you
Yeah.
bending your silly straw? Are you trying to
They're
unsilly
already
it?
made.
They're
Are you
messy.
Egon? Did you straighten your slinky?
Oh, you're talking about the hard silly straws. We have the ones that like you pull out and you can tie them
Oh.
in knots and stuff.
That's
Okay,
not
yeah,
a
that's
silly
a-
straw.
That's a
just
bendy silly straw.
That's
A
just
bendy.
Oh.
That's a bendy straw that's longer.
Why are we having this debate right now?
I don't know.
It's
Listen,
not debate. We're establishing what
because
the
we're
facts are.
master debaters
Okay.
And oral fixators.
and oral fixators, and this
I'm
is
quite fixated
actually.
on receiving.
I mean, I think this is one of those fetishes where I think it's like this is not like a hard one to really wrap your head around. It's not a very in depth one, because it's like it's exactly that. It is like the oral fixation tied with a sexual connection, and I bet you more people have it and don't realize than let on. I bet you that's what you don't see a lot of like oral fixation porn, or at least I haven't. I mean, I found. I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you type in oral on Pornhub, you're not finding oral fixation. You're just seeing a lot of dick sucking. All the dick
Same
sucking.
thing.
Yeah. But because how do I explain this? Make it words. Here we go. But this is more like it's just more than just oral sex, like you said.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, I mean that fascinates me. But I think this is probably one of those like fetishes.
My absolutely favorite thing to do is suck on somebody's fingers.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, does hand size matter to you?
Yeah.
No.
Is that important to you?
Because I have tiny fingers. I'm a tiny fingered man.
Yeah. No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
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 I don't know. It's something about my mouth and the other person's mouth. I think honestly, like like that is a very big deal for me. Like how they use their mouth, how they, you know, I don't know. It's just everything about
Do
it.
Now,
you-
would we classify the use of the tongue solely as oral as well? Like
What's in the
licking,
mouth?
but not just sucking and such.
In the mouth.
Okay.
It's like
Uh,
biting.
I-
Biting's in the mouth. That's in your mouth. It's horrible.
I'm just building up the fantasies. I mean, filling in the facts.
Yeah, we got
Filling
cover.
in the facts.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
good.
guys,
have
we're
to-
thorough. We cover all the facts. My next question.
We have to engulf and take in all of the facts. Yes.
Okay.
My next question is like, people will do suggestive stuff with their mouth and like eyes when you're flirting. Like someone will bite their bottom lip or be provocative, and it's like, is that a little more heightened? Do you look at people's mouths and then just be like, I want to put my mouth on that? And this is actually like a legit question because like some people, I don't care what you do with your face. Your eyes though will knock me out, but everything below the eyes and above the eyes, I kind of just blank out. But I always wonder if someone with like this oral.
I think
Thing.
yes. I think it's a make or break thing because like you see those say for just an example, like on the movies when you see like one of those not really attractive, like very like trying to be sexy and like licking things like a slobbering dog, like that's like a turn off. That's like,
Oh, so
don't
me.
slobber on me.
I'm
Yeah,
people.
sorry.
Yeah, it's me. I'm people.
But
I
I,
love
mean,
that.
it is. It's sort of like when you see somebody, you're attracted to somebody's eyes, and you're not like, you look at them and you're like, well, I'm not really attracted to that. It's the same thing with the mouth for me. It's like, do they have a nice smile? It's a lot of that. Yeah.
I mean, I think we
Is
see
it,
that.
Is it a naked face or is it a furry face?
It's all faces.
I think we've seen this like in films and we don't realize it. I mean, like one of the most famous lines is, "You sure do got a pretty mouth."
Just think about it. Every time that there is a sexual scene, they're licking their lips,
Mm-hmm.
and it draws attention to the mouth.
Oh yeah,
Like-
no, and you're 100% right because now the more I think about it, because I think about the flirty lip bite and and when I was a photographer, I used to tell people like, yeah, with your mouth, do something with your mouth.
Yeah.
Your mouth is weird. Don't just smile. Smile this way or like show this amount, And so yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I honestly just wanted to make the "you sure do got a pretty mouth" joke, and
Of course you did.
listen, it landed so poorly that you
I
didn't even
was trying.
skip a
I was
bit. You
trying.
just went straight on.
I was trying. I was trying,
Because
folks.
because you have to have the accent with it as well.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh.
Seashells by the seashore. You sure do got a pretty mouth. Better?
Why did he
Should
do
we go
that
with-
so well? Why did
Should
he
we
do
for
that
the?
so well?
Should we go for the second take there? That was good.
Oh, here.
good
No,
on
you know it. You know it. No. I got you.
Oh.
I got
Okay,
you.
you got us?
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready? You sure do have a pretty mouth.
Niece, now
It's not
see-
pretty. It's purdy.
Oh my God! Really? That's where you're gonna go? Okay.
Now
fine.
see, I mean that was sexy, but that wasn't, the line. That wasn't because
Yeah.
this
My
is
bad.
like
All right, I give up.
No.
Backwater
Do it
hillbillies
again.
type.
Yeah, do it again in that tone of voice, but say, "You sure do got a purty mouth."
and you gotta have that back of your throat gruntle into it.
Yeah, not pretty, purty. Grundle it. Yeah, you have to grundle in the back.
Mm-mm. I will do it my way. Thank you.
Okay, you do it your way. You do it your way. But you guys say the lines right.
Oh my God, what are we doing? We're running away with this
We're,
podcast.
we're a podcast. Just remind people this is a podcast about sex.
You sure do got a pretty mouth.
I don't think she can say purdy.
I can't.
Can.
I
Yeah.
can't.
She's too proper.
I have bred it out
Yeah.
of me. I have bred it out of me. I've spent a lot of money on elocution lessons. I'm sorry. Like,
You know what? I'm gonna
And
allow it.
I never picked up any accent, and yet I spent nothing.
Yeah, to be honest, Airship doesn't have an accent, does he?
Yeah, I grew up in the South, but I refused to.
so did I. I grew up in the country.
And I think we can all
And
tell.
yet you had to pay for those lessons.
I think we can all tell
Well,
that I
came with my college
obviously-
tuition.
I obviously grew up in the South, and I have the accent to prove it. Now,
Like, what is it? How did it go?
yeah.
Okay. Do you guys love going down on
Oh,
people?
absolutely. But I think the arousal I get from it is not the act as the reaction. Does that make sense?
Which is is
Like,
different.
I mean-
it is different.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me
because-
wrong. The act is hot, but my true satisfaction of it is the reaction that I'm getting from my partner.
Yeah,
and see,
that's
I enjoy the
why-
act. I
That's why
really enjoy
can't
the act.
say I have the oral fetish because I know it's a different level of turn on with all aspects oral.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we are more focused on specific aspects that's not just lips and mouth, it's in other actions.
And I think this is where this really defines the fetish. Is the act or the react.
But I am an enabler, just so you know. So
He is. He is, in fact, an enabler. He's enabled me the entire time I've lived here. Just be like, no, you should do that. Stop enabling it.
No,
So-
I enjoy the act. I do. I as I said, I thoroughly enjoy going down on people. I love sucking on things. I have left many a mark.
wait, I need another sip of this. Oh my!
Yeah, take a good sip.
And it's
And I
nice.
think, and that's what really makes sense to me. Like, that's where I really painted at the end of this podcast. It is the act, not the reaction. Because, like, as I discussed when we had the foot fetish episode, I'll suck a toe. But, like I said, the actual act of sucking the toe does nothing for me. But if my partner is reacting in a pleasant manner, it turns me on. So that's what really fascinates me about this fetish.
I love putting my mouth on people. I love it. It is like my favorite thing. Anywhere.
You love oral contact, right?
I love
Any
putting my
kind
mouth.
of oral contact.
I love putting my mouth on doorknobs
Of course you do.
And batteries.
You know what? That's
and batteries. Wait a minute. Wait. So you have an oral fixation? You've never licked a battery? Come on now. Ooh, maybe that's why. Maybe that is 100% why you have not licked a battery, because you only want to represent pleasant reactions with your mouth.
I
We
don't know.
solved
I
it.
like getting bitten in my mouth on my lip. I've had my lip bitten to the point it bled.
Oh, then go buy yourself a 9-volt battery and welcome to Sexy Town. Okay, just saying. You can,
Okay.
It's like it's like
Electric
the super
play and
intro to
oral
Violet
all at the
Wands.
same time.
Yeah, no, that's 100% what that is.
It's like step
You
one
know what?
to Violet
Once-
Wand experience. 9-volt
If
battery.
we start live streaming, I will lick a battery.
You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here,
Live stream.
and we are starting on our
Live
1-year
stream.
anniversary. We're going live streaming Friday nights episodes and stuff like that.
I
And
will
you're gonna
lick
look
a
at
battery.
battery.
Instead of Saturdays? Oh, is that
Uh,
like Patreon access live? Or?
No, we'll do live on Friday, just because we have another show on the network on Saturday. So maybe we'll do both. We're still discussing when we'll do it. We hadn't set schedules. It's all in pre-production.
Yeah.
So
And I can safely say that this fixation is all about the givers, not necessarily the receivers. Because, I mean, who doesn't love receiving? But I don't know if Are there people out there that can only get satisfied or climax through oral and not real sex? You know. 'Cause
Oh, okay.
Maybe,
So
maybe then I could say they are also have the oral fixation as a receiver.
yeah, that's a really good question because Rebecca,
I know.
you're very much.
You're
Chef,
welcome.
yeah, you nailing it. Oh, give it.
I mean, I try.
It's giving me the chills. I didn't even think about that.
Get it deep down, boy.
But yeah, because we've only really discussed Rebecca's side, which is the
Giving.
You mean the giver
Yeah.
side?
the giver side.
It's not always about her. I mean, most of the time, I mean, yeah, it's her, but yeah.
Yeah.
But we have to just
mean-
not let it be about her.
Yeah. But yeah, I would imagine there are people who either struggle to get off outside of oral sex, or that's their preference, or it's in such a degree that it's immediate, like such a visceral reaction to oral sex that it's immediate, being the receiver of oral affection. So, yeah, we didn't really even get
Honestly,
into that.
Maybe that's what
Honest-
those are the effects that really supported the song, and then it jizzed in my pants. It
Well-
thought about oral.
Though,
Oh.
I've actually encountered more people than not who have actually been very self-conscious when receiving oral. It's all like, oh, oral's great, you blowjob. No, honestly, I've come across men and women who are both self-conscious when people go down on them.
Yeah.
And they actually can't get off because they are so self-conscious about it. And so so it's not just the whole, oh, I love oral. It's like they actually don't like it because they are so self-conscious about it.
So that
So
would be the
personal
exact
story.
opposite of our fetish, then, yes.
Probably. No, actually, I have a story that very much relates to this. I struggle to climax with oral because of in a past relationship. If I were to finish during oral, and this is a long-term relationship, if I were to finish during oral, my partner would become cross because that was like, she wanted her side, even though I would always reciprocate afterwards. She wanted, she was like, no, this is premature to that. And she didn't want to do it to completion. Yeah, she had some hang-ups. And that's okay. She had her hang-ups. But so in my mind, I, link oral to foreplay, not as a just, it could be like, how it could be a solo act right there. Like this is just an oral thing. I don't have much experience with that. It's always been like this is a pre-game. We're getting into the full game. You can't finish now because we're about to get into the full game here.
Well, I
And
mean,
see, I totally am opposite. I will I have no problem remaining completely clothed, giving a blowjob till completion, and being like very satisfied with that, like being like very happy with that, and just
so another,
That was the
What about
good
my-
stuff.
another note for the pro side. Yeah.
Yeah, very pro, very pro. I think we might keep this Rebecca chick around for like
Yeah, right.
well,
every other podcast we do.
Because I mean, if
Did you say every other?
If ever I climax versus oil, there's no ending there. It's just like no, grab my head, I got this. We're going.
Absolutely. No, I think this has probably been one of the most thought-provoking episodes I've had in a while, because it deals with stuff that like I was aware of but not consciously thinking about, and I love that. I love when we have episodes that are just like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And hopefully our audience likes that too, because I want my favorite episodes to be our audience's favorite episodes, so we're like paired together.
But
is-
okay, well, oral sex. I mean, it is not just foreplay. I think that it's one of those. Yes, it is. It is
Oral
a.
sex. It's not just for play. It's for action.
But I mean, I think we so much tie that in with it is just foreplay. I think we often, even us in the kink sex community, like we just like oral is not its own separate thing a lot of times. Like a lot of times people say, well, included in, but not separate. But it can be a separate act. Like I said, like I get immense pleasure out of, and I don't have, it isn't foreplay. It is the act itself. It is simply the act of oral. And I think that as standalone is okay. And I think men and women really need to think about that.
Yeah.
That
Yes,
it's okay.
all you listeners,
to-
lips.
Think about it.
The other erogenous zone.
Exactly.
Think
You
about
can.
it.
This is an episode you
Feel
can.
it.
This is an episode you can really wrap your lips around, and I like that.
And then it failed.
Yeah, man, it was here. I was here for it. It was great.
boy, you really do have a pretty mouth.
You have. That's the first time in any episode we've ever had that all three of us have said the silly line.
But it wasn't silly. I actually did it right.
You did, and I'm proud of you, Shep. I can't believe we did it. This is like one of those confetti should be falling from the ceiling and balloons going up. We all three said the silliness.
But
Oh, gracious.
how is it silly? When it's done, when you try it, yeah, silly. But
Fair enough. No, this has been a fantastic episode, and now I need to start thinking of it as a solo act. So I think that's probably the biggest issue I've had in the past is that it was always treated to me as not a solo act. So having this understanding is fantastic, and I love it. It's just like,
well, I mean,
making-
I'm sure if you have a few ribs removed, it can be a solo act.
I mean,
think
I do
that's
yoga every day in the hopes.
I think that's my biggest thing, and when I talk about my oral fetish and my oral fixation, is I try to emphasize that it's okay to not give and receive. It's okay to just do and give, or just not. It's
Just
okay
give and
to
then
enjoy the act of giving oral.
Yeah.
Hey, she's wearing a skirt. Pull down her underwear. Hey, drop to your knee. Like, do what you got to do. Like, and it's okay. And it's okay to just do it and enjoy it. I think that's the other thing is people do it as a chore because they think, oh, this is foreplay and I've got to do it.
Yeah, and
And
in
I
the
think
past,
that's the
a lot
part
of my
that
partners
bothers
have felt
me.
that way.
I have to give a blowjob. That's why it's a job. And I hate that. I hate it when women say that. I hate it when, not just women, I hate it when anybody says it, that it's just a job. That's why they call it a blowjob. I'm like, well, then fucking be employee of the goddamn month. Like, god damn it. Like, that's what
Yes, yes. You know what? On that note, that's
And
it.
it's all
We're not.
good if it all completes out, as long as you end it with what a lovely tea party.
Listen, there
It
is
makes
nothing
things all
wrong.
right.
There's nothing wrong with just having tacos for lunch and that's it. And there's nothing wrong with just going with the egg parmesan. So let's talk about what we're discussing next week.
Okay.
We've only got a few things left before our
and I know
1
what's
year.
left on the wheel.
Oh yeah, here we go. I do too. I'm excited and terrified and excited.
Tell us more.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh, no.
This is embarrassing.
So are you.
Guys, I can't believe it. This is incredibly embarrassing, but I am humiliated right now.
Oh,
next week-
Aren't you
no.
always?
This is humiliating. That next week
He's
we're gonna
trying
have to.
so hard.
And I
Yet
think
placid.
I succeeded. I think I nailed it. Rocked it right through the park.
You did.
And I'm
Until he did.
absolutely. We are talking about humiliation and degradation.
What was that word again?
Degradation. I said it right. Did I say it right?
Degradation.
1, 2, 3.
No.
Degradation.
Degradation.
Degradation. 1, 2,
Who's
3. Expositional.
Arsa special boy.
Exhibitionism?
There it is. All right. So next week,
Excelsior.
when I buy Shep a mic arm, because I can hear him holding his microphone, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get him a mic arm.
I'll send you some
I
money.
have an arm.
I'll Venmo you. You know what? Just send me your address. I'll buy it for you.
All right, guys.
I will accept it if you bring it here.
Yeah, get your butt over here.
Oh, okay.
Let us build our studio so we can all record in person, and it'd be fantastic
Okay.
all the time.
Yes,
All the
well,
I think the
Freeway
last
in the
time,
room.
didn't the last time we got together and recorded together, it didn't turn out so well?
I learned a lot since then
Oh, okay.
for that exact same reason. All right, I am your host,
And I learned what I liked at that point too.
John Dondera, and with me, as always, the very orally asphyxiated Miss Rebecca,
Good evening.
It
and the
certainly
not
was.
so anal retentive Mr. Shep.
So anal.
Yeah, he
What?
is. He's 100%. That was a lie. That was a
Till
bullface
next
lie.
time.
Complete anal retentive bastard. That's why I love him. All right, guys. Have a great night. Bye.